Hello, everyone, and welcome to the DarkToast Draft League. I am Dark from DarkToast, and we're going to start off by discussing the draft. To open the kickoff weekend, preemptively, we had all of our teams draft the, teams you can see on the screen, actually. From picks 1, starting on the left, to picks 8, in a snake draft order. You can see all the numbers of the picks, too. So, with that being said, going into week 1, these are your most up-to-date rosters. Some teams had more points to spare than others, such as Boston Tough had an extra 13 points that they can spend in free agency if they choose to. But, with that being said, in a few moments, we'll be getting to our first match, which is the Miami Mawwiles versus the Snow Points Fields. I cannot wait to show you what we've been working on. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Game 1 of this Best of 3 series. As you can see, preemptively to the series, the Snow Points Fields have banned Mega Mawile, the mascot of the Miami Mawwiles. While on the other end, you can see that the Miami Mawwiles have banned Urshifu on the side of the Snow Points Fields. So as I get this music going, the team theme's actually in the background that you'll be hearing. Let's let this battle begin. Well, you should be hearing them in the background. Only time will tell. Now, as I move to start this, some technical difficulties, but we may now begin. As you see, they are leading Galvantula and Incineroar on the end of the Miami Mawwiles into the Theraphorn and Grimmsnarl of the Snow Points Fields. Turn 1, Theraphorn will go for a Protect, and Grimmsnarl will set up a Reflect. While we see the parting shot go into the Theraphorn, keeping Incineroar on the field, but he is immune to Prankster moves. Flare Blitz would KO Grimmsnarl with the help of Flash's Bug Buzz. As we head into turn 2, we see Arcanine come out with Incineroar protecting. You'd see a Volt Switch come out from the Galvantula into the Arcanine, and then we would see Nexus, the Roaring Moon, be sent out on the field. Theraphorn would go for a knockoff, but it wouldn't be as effective as, it's not holding an item. Meanwhile, the Stone Edge would actually connect to Okoing that Arcanine. A little bit behind. Very fast action since it's a replay. Incineroar would be sent out to set up the Intimidate, as Nexus would be sent out to... Well, not sent out, would... Wow, U-turn. Words are hard today. We see the Drifblim on the field get Toxicked. And then a knockoff that's super effective, knocking off the leftovers. Strength Sap would come out to heal it up and lower the attack of the Rillaboom even further. Parting Shot would also be sent out to keep Rillaboom's attack fairly low in the 6v6 matchup. It's able to be swapped out, but I doubt we'll see it. We see Legendary Guy, the Keldeo Resolute form, go for a Calm Mind, which seems a bit greedy with this Rillaboom on the field. With the Toxic Poison and the Leech Seed stall also on this field, really helping keep, well, the side of the Snow Points feels pretty healed up. And as you can see, the priority Grassy Glide can still kill, even at 0.33 attack onto the Keldeo Resolute. The Galvantula comes out with its Unnerve ability, preventing the eating of berries, but I do not feel like that's much of a problem. Bug Buzz will come out onto the field and do significant, by significant I mean barely any damage, to the Clodsire of the Snow Points Fields. Ooga Booga will finally succumb to its wounds of poison, and we'll see Incineroar be sent out onto the field. Therefore, would protect as Parting Shot goes into the Clodsire, as we do see Roaring Moon come out as a pivot and get Toxic. Roaring Moon's Dragon Claw does barely any damage, actually 31% of the damage, onto Clodsire. Incineroar coming out to set up the Intimidate again onto, I believe... Nope, never mind. I was about to prove myself wrong there. Clodsire is a special... Not the special, physical attacker, so... That was really useful. Huge Crunch with a defense drop onto the Clodsire, and a Flare Blitz to follow up to ensure that it goes down. We see Rillaboom come out, set up Grassy Terrain. The Fake Out comes out into Incineroar, but the Crunch is not enough to kill. Incineroar will flinch due to the Fake Out and be Toxicked. I missed the Terra type onto the Roaring Moon. My apologies. The Grassy Glide priority would go into the Roaring Moon, as Flare Blitz would go in, killing Rillaboom, but officially sealing the fate of... Oh no, Grassy Terrain heal plus Toxic wasn't that. I thought he was gone. Not going to lie to you. Terra Water Ferroform would come out as a Meteor Beam Starmie would target the Galvantula. Flare Blitz would be now resisted by the Water Terra. Iron Barbs will take out Incineroar. It is up to the Ogerpon in the back to stop this push. Speed Control comes out and does massive damage. The Horn Leech will help heal the Ogerpon to full. It's now Toxic Stall versus a powerful Ogerpon in Grassy Terrain. Protect will come out, as Horn Leech will go in. Ferroform did Terra Water, so Horn Leech is super effective, doing half the HP and potentially sealing this run. Knockoff will come in. It knocks off nothing, as we will see a Protect come out from Ferroform. Toxic Stall is all you need. Maybe another Protect will seal this for you. Protect fails. The Gamble fails, and Ogerpon will get the kill on Ferroform, sealing Game 1 in favor of the Miami Mawile. We'll be back here shortly for Game number 2. Wow, okay. Oh, mic's still on. Anyway, hey chat. Wow, what a game. Hello and welcome back here as we set up for game 2. We are right now just trying to transfer over the file, the replay, for game number 1. Not game number 1, game number 2 actually, as well. Despite a few technical difficulties, you'll be surprised on how well this has gone. Anyway, now as we are ready to get into game 2, you can see the Miami Mawile have a 1-0 lead. Bans do not change throughout the series, and we are ready to get into our next match. As we begin, we see Grimmsnarl let out for the Snow Points Fields, with Arcanine helping out, and the lead of Ogerpon and Keldeo Resolute. Ogerpon will get parried due to following, and we'll get a free Calm Mind off. Light Screen will come out, Water Absorb will work fine for both teams, ironically. And we will see Poison Jab do massive damage to Jubilee, the Ogerpon Wellspring. Water Absorb will add some healing, and Grimmsnarl will be put fairly low. Spirit Break will come out nearly OHKOing. As now, we have Paralysis on one. Do we get the double para? No, we do not. Ogerpon will heal up. Grimmsnarl will faint. And Clodsire, well, gets to watch as... Oh, actually, Clodsire helps clear the field. As you'll see the Life Orb kill Legendary Guy. And the Poison Jab kill the Ogerpon. Head Smash OHKOs Drift Blim. Aftermath does a little bit of damage, but it's not enough. You'll see Toxic Poison go out onto the Roaring Moon. Helping Hand on the Arcanine. Stone Edge OHKOs, though, meaning it's a wasted turn as Parting Shot comes into the Clodsire, as you'll see the pivot in the Galvantula. We see Rillaboom unleashed onto the field. We get Fake Out, priority onto the Galvantula. Crunch will come in and lower Rillaboom's defense, but Flash can't move. Galvantula is cured of its poisoning using its Lumberry, as we see Theraphorn be sent down to the field. Crunch comes in on Theraphorn, does half its HP. That's not special defense, that's a physical defense lower. Bug Buzz comes out, resisted by the Clodsire. Toxic Poison now onto the Galvantula. Not much longer on Nexus. Turns are numbered. Crunch goes into the right target. Thunder into the wrong one. Actually, well, it's the right one. I think it's immune, so it doesn't matter anyway. But Nexus should fall to Toxic Poison this turn. We see Incineroar come out in the final gambit of his team. It is not looking pretty on the side of Miami Mawiles. Thunder comes out. It is resisted. Does not do enough damage. Flare Blitz into the Clodsire. I did not expect that play. I expected to double it onto the Theraphorn, who protected last turn. Double Toxic onto Incineroar, assuming the OHKO would have came out, in which it did not. Protect comes in from Clodsire. Protect comes in from Theraphorn. Nothing matters on the side of Miami Mawile here, as you're not getting any damage. They are actually recovering from the Grassy Terrain's effects. Thunder misses on Theraphorn, as Flare Blitz once again goes into the Clodsire. Trying to keep the Theraphorn on the field, but I don't think that's the play. Heavy Duty Boots is gone for the Incineroar, but that does not matter now, as Toxic finally takes out Galvantula. Flare Blitz goes into the Theraphorn, and I thought that happened sooner. Iron Barbs does massive damage, as you'll see the recoil be the death of the Incineroar. As the Snow Points Fields take game number 2, and we are going the distance here, as we head into game number 3. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to game number 3. Here we still have the Snow Points Fields versus the Miami Mawile. It has gone the distance here, and honestly, really good for both teams. You've seen some really interesting Toxic Stall strats and some questionable plays of who to target. But let's see if the status team can go the distance here against the sheer sweeping power of the Miami Mawile. As we enter game 1 here, we do see Hatterene and Incineroar be led off against Rillaboom and Grimmsnarl. The knockoff will come on into Hatterene, but is neutral damage due to its Fairy and Psychic typing. Dazzling Gleam comes out, super effective on the Grimmsnarl, as Fairy does not resist Fairy, and Fairy is super effective on Dark types. You'll see the swap come in, Thunder Wave, Magic Bounce onto the Grimmsnarl, as Darkest Lariat does not do as much damage as you'd think it would to the Hisuian Arcanine. Arcanine now a bit above half HP, but pretty good HP bars on the side of the Miami Mawile. Head Smash comes in. It will kill. And I don't think it was in any doubt. The Hatterene. Keldeo comes out and then immediately pivots in the Galvantula. As you do see the Terra come out onto the Rillaboom. Head Smash will kill Incineroar. And Galvantula will be taken to less than half HP. Ogerpon comes out. Ivy Cudgel kills the Arcanine. Thunder misses. The terrain ends as we see Clodsire and the Toxic Strat get put back into its, play. Resisted damage onto the Roaring Moon. Not taking much, and the Protect comes out. As we do see, Keldeo gets subbed in here. You get another defense lower on the Crunch Raid. That is insane by the Roaring Moon, by the way. Another Crunch comes out. Bigger damage this time with lower defense. As we will see the Leech Seed miss. That is a rare occurrence, let me be honest. Sacred Sword, Okos, Theraphorn. Toxic is doing its damage over time, and it's doing it fairly well. The grassy terrain is reset up, though, and gonna help give some passive recovery. Resisted damage, still a lot from the Grassy Glide, as Crunch will finish off the Toxic Stall Clodsire. Starmie comes down to the field. Grassy Glide will finish off Roaring Moon. Starmie, I believe, is faster. Meteor Beam comes out, is going to kill the Galvantula, and give the attack raise to the Starmie. It's now up to the Ogerpon and Keldeo to make this work out. Grassy Glide in the Keldeo gets the kill. Ogerpon. The Icy Wind misses. Ogerpon not getting the speed drop will get the Horn Leech off. It's now 1v1. Icy Wind not going to do enough. Horn Leech will kill. And that will give the Miami Mawile their first win and the opening win of the DarkToast Draft League season. Congratulations. We'll see you shortly for our next match. Hello and welcome back to the DarkToast Draft League. So, we see the Porygon 2 Circuit from Goldenrod City take on the Boston Tough. So, let's take a look at what we are working with when it comes to our teams. So, on the end of, well, actually, you already know the teams. I guess at the end of the band spectrums, first of all, the Porygon 2 Circuit has banned the Azumarill from the Boston Tough, while Boston Tough have, rightfully so, actually, I don't think it's rightfully so, as that's indeed male, has been banned from the Porygon 2 Circuit. You'll see a team of Murkrow, Lunala, Ursaluna Primarina, Hoopa Unbound, and Mega Lucario take on Mega Lopunny, Cacturne, Meloetta, Metagross, Magmar, and Serena. So, without a further ado, may our second match of the day begin. So, we see Murkrow led with Ursaluna into the Metagross and the Serena. A Protect comes in from the Ursaluna, as you see Tailwind gets set by the Murkrow. High Jump Kick would hit through the Protect. Well, not through it, but it would technically miss due to the Protect, and Serena will lose half its HP. Hurricane misses. Terra Blast with Terra Ghost goes in on Metagross, killing it. Giga Drain is resisted by Murkrow, doing no damage and not healing much at all. Rain Dance would come out, as Magmar is gone. Power Whip onto the Murkrow? Does no damage, as we see Cacturne be released onto the field. Hurricane will kill Serena, as Facade will kill Cacturne. Lopunny comes out, and the Meloetta. Protect comes in. Tailwind is set up again. Close Combat comes in. You're supposed to Mega Evolve first turn, but mistakes do happen. That would have mattered if, it doesn't matter if they hit themselves in confusion. They should really be Mega Evolving, but that'll have to be a conversation in between the matches. There we go. Mega Evolution comes out, and Lopunny will finally die. As Game 1 will go to the Porygon 2 Circuit. Welcome back! We are here for game number 2 of the series of the Porygon 2 Circuit from Goldenrod City and the Boston Tough. I struggle to get this name down as it's the most obscure one in the league, I am not going to lie to you. Alright, now, without a further ado, I do not believe we see any substitutions in between games, so may the battle begin. Murkrow and Ursaluna will lead again into Magmar and Meloetta. Protect comes in from the Ursaluna to get the Guts Flame Orb active, as Cross Chop will do neutral damage to the Murkrow. Burn does come out, as the close combat would have been amazing if... Wow, actually, the Earthquake just comes out and ruins pretty much everything, and I don't know why the close combat didn't come out there, but massive damage that'll take out the Magmar. I would not be surprised if we see another Earthquake, but first Hurricane comes out to kill Meloetta, and Terra Blast will OHKO Metagross. So Lopunny comes out with Cacturne. Lopunny will Mega Evolve, correcting their mistake from the first game, doing massive damage in the process. Thunder will come out and do nothing. Facade goes in to the Cacturne, killing it in one hit. Tailwind peters out, but I don't think it'll matter. Protect comes in. Tailwind is set, just to ensure they have the speed advantage. Murkrow lives on the thread, but is doubled into and will go down. Lucario comes out. Mega evolves. Bullet Punch, but Queenly Majesty prevents priority moves, but Facade will come out and kill the Serena, sealing the steal, as Primarina will come out, and there will be not another kill to follow, as the Porygon 2 Circuit will get their first win of, well, the season. As we see, we have wins coming in from the Miami Mawile 2-1 over the Snow Points Fields, and a quick 2-0 victory for the Goldenrod Porygon 2 Circuit over the Boston Tough. Next up, we'll see matches from our Toasted Conference. Without further ado, I will send us over to their schedule. Hello everyone, welcome back to the DarkToast Draft League. Here we'll have our match between the Ding Dong Darmanitan and the St. Louis Superior, which is a team I have the pleasure of coaching. So, the St. Louis Superior have banned Corviknight, which is a hard counter to our team, as I'm the coach, I can tell you why I banned that one. And on the other end, out of entire fear of the power of the Iron Valiant, the Ding Dong Darmanitan have banned it. So, not leading, but on the roster for the St. Louis Superior, you have Genesect, Armorogue, Crocodile, Togekiss, Eternatus, and Farigiraf. On the other side, in DD Female, Torkoal, Darmanitan Galar, Hydreigon. Ooh, I learned German too, so that hurt. Galarian Corsola, and Mega Diancie. I had to remember if it was Mega or not. It's been a minute, if you'd not watched the first video. So, now, let's get in to our opening game of the Toasted Conference. You'll see Eternatus and Farigiraf lead on the side of the Superior, with Darmanitan and Hydreigon on the other end. Terra Fire instantly from the Eternatus, which will take big damage from the Earthquake, but will OHKO Galarian Darmanitan. It will die to its own life orb and immediately set up the field again. Torkoal will come out as Crocodile comes out to set up the Intimidate, but Drought's on the field and Eruption becomes a big risk. Dark Pulse will kill for Farigiraf as Crocodile high horsepowers and does massive damage to the Torkoal to prevent any major damage from the Eruption this time around. Togekiss will come out to hopefully set up a Tailwind as Thunderwave will come into the Togekiss. Power Up Punch does nothing as it hits into a Protect. Tailwind does get set up, and speed is everything. A double Protect onto the Torkoal as Dragon Pulse will do massive damage to the Crocodile with a Para coming out for Togekiss. The luckiest man I know, by the way. Third Para, by the way, as the Immune Swap, meaning this turn means absolutely nothing. Dragon Pulse will come in and not Oko, but kill Crocodile. As Follow Me comes out from the Togekiss finally, and we see a Techno Blast finish off the Hydreigon. Diancie will come out, have to Mega Evolve right away. Ironhead comes out, Oko's the Mega Diancie. Tailwind is set up again. Strength Sap will come in to lower the attack buff on the Genesect, as we will see the Indeedee come out. As we see U-Turn come in, do massive damage, and Armorogue is on the field. Another Paralysis onto the Togekiss and a Strength Sap on the Armorogue, who is built as a special attacker, so the attack drop doesn't mean that much. Dark Pulse comes in, does some damage to the very bulky Galarian Corsola. The flinch will come in on the Serene Grace Togekiss, as Expanding Force will do some damage. Another flinch in from the Serene Grace. Togekiss keeps, Corsola at bay, as we should see an end due to the Expanding Force, as now the St. Louis Superior take Game 1 of the series. Welcome back to the Toasted Conference. Here we have the St. Louis Superior up 1 on the Galarian Darmanitan. Not Galarian, well, Ding Dong Galarian Darmanitan, but the Ding Dong Darmanitan. Anyway, so, as we get to set out, and you see my fear for Darmanitan, we are ready to get going. There were, I believe, one sub, and that was Mega Diancie for Kyurem Black. Genesect will be sent out and Togekiss 2 to immediately set up the Tailwind. Download will come in, and the download will boost the attack stat as we get Flying Terra right away into a Techno Blast. Paralysis will go onto the Togekiss as Fire Punch will do massive damage onto the Genesect, but at least it's not quite effective and will not Oko it. Follow Me goes in on the Darmanitan's U-Turn is into a Protect. Fire Punch does come out, but there is no double Protect. Paralysis does come out. U-Turn will keep Genesect alive, as Armorogue comes out, and Fire Punch is into Flash Fire. Torkoal does come out into the field. Armor Cannon into the Darmanitan will kill it, but do you have an answer to the Eruption Torkoal? Air Slash will miss, no flinch. Massive damage onto the Armorogue, as we will see Indeedee Female be coming out into the field. We get a Protect in from the Torkoal. Expanding Force will do resisted damage to Indeedee, as Paralysis will come out, and we see the Trick Room get set up. And this is where disaster is spelled, with Torkoal having, really good speed in the Trick Room as the second Paralysis comes out, as it doesn't look like the St. Louis Superior can stop the potential Eruption spam of Torkoal. Helping Hand onto the Eruption will kill both Togekiss and Farigiraf. Crocodile will come out with the Armorogue. That will prevent the, eruption due to flash fire. But as you can see, Earth Power will kill Armor Rogue, and the Follow Me will redirect Crocodile's attack. Torque will still have full HP if one turn of Trick Room left, and Eruption will come out and kill both. As it's now up to the Eternatus in a 1v4. All it takes is one Trick Room to make this work. Dynamax Cannon will go on to Indeedee, as you will see a Earth Power go into the Eternatus, doing massive damage on a critical hit. Kyurem Black will come out, and this will be a loaded die Icicle Spear that will make it so. But Ding Dong Darmanitan, take game number 2. Welcome back to game number 3 of the Ding Dong Darmanitan versus the St. Louis Superior. There hasn't been any roster changes, so we'll delve straight into this matchup. Faraf and Togekiss will be the lead this time for the St. Louis Superior versus Kyurem and the Hydreigon. Togekiss will come out, follow me, and take the Thunder Wave, as Icicle Sphere will come out, and as I said, it is loaded dice, so this will hit the maximum number of times, and it will kill the Togekiss in one hit. Light Screen will come out in preparedness for the eruption. Terrifier Eternatus will not take super effective damage from the, Hydreigon, and then Icicle Sphere Welcome back. I'm aware of a microphone issue that happened at the end of the last map. I will also clarify all of this is run in OBS Studios, and there will be no editing, so the voiceover isn't even post. It is all live and done. So, not much I can do to fix that. Our editor is very busy nowadays, so, with that being said, we do see the matchup between the Hope Petulant versus the Fluorescent Phalanx. Hope will decide to ban the T-Tar Mega out of fear of, well, potentially sweeping the team. I don't know. I don't think they're actually afraid at all, but that is besides the point. Well, beside the point, words are hard. You'll understand that. With that being said, we see a Mega Scizor ban from the Fluorescent Phalanx, afraid of that Bullet Punch. But I feel like their team does really good into the Mega Scizor. With all of that aside, we do prepare to see our friends lead with, well, not lead, but one of their teams. Let me just say their teams, because, anyway. You have Phalanx, the mascot of the Fluorescent Phalanx. You have Garchomp. I believe it is a Mega Garchomp. You have Jirachi, Charizard, Mimikyu, and Suicune. On the other end, you have what is obviously a Sun team with Ninetales, Hisuian Lilligant, Walking Wake, Shaman's there. Iron Moth, and Cresselia is also just there. Well, with all of that being said, we should get into this match. Oop, wrong browser. There we go. You should be able to hear the showdown audio now, too. Phalanx and Mimikyu will be the lead for the Fluorescent Phalanx, as you'll see the Ninetales and Shaman. Next week you'll see that the viewpoints will align with the correct sides. Till now, you'll see that Fluorescent Phalanx is the side we're looking at as a viewpoint, as Air Slash will come out into the No Retreat Phalanx doing massive damage, and the burn will definitely hinder the Mimikyu. Player Up does nothing, the damage is resisted, so would have done big damage without the burn. Walking Wake does come out, gets a Photosynthesis boost. Helping Hand is onto the Mimikyu as they will Air Slash out the Phalanx. Phantom Force will come out as the burn will slowly chip away at the Mimikyu. Iron Moth is released onto the world as Phantom Force still does a billion damage. I missed a buff on the Mimikyu. That makes sense now that the burn isn't impactful. Disguise is still yet to be broken, as they will go into the Protect onto the Suicune. Woodhammer onto the Walking Wake will not kill, and instead do chip damage onto them. Draco Meteor was onto the Suicune too, but Protect will make the double read not happen. Jirachi will come out to the field. Energy Ball, even with resist, it's a crit. We'll get rid of the Air Balloon. Phantom Force will keep Mimikyu alive, meaning it will not take damage, and the Disguise is still yet to be broke. Protect will come out from Walking Wake, as you will see Energy Ball go into the Jirachi before Iron Moth will faint. Mimikyu will die to burn. No, it will stay, barely. After you, Hydro Steam will kill the Jirachi. Woodhammer will crit and kill Walking Wake, meaning Mimikyu dies to the recoil without its disguise even being broken. Ninetales will come out, as you'll see Garchomp be let of Suicune, as Suicune will protect. Garchomp will get Will-O-Wisp, meaning its physical damage that's about to do means not much. It would have killed Ninetales there if it wasn't for that burn. But Mecha Garchomp now in a really bad position with both Shaman and Serena out. The Solar Blade will just Oko Suicune. Outrage will only do half the HP of Shaman due to the, well, burn. Protect will come in, trying to predict the Outrage into it. Victory Dance comes out onto the Hisuian Lilligant. It lives. Confusion hits Garchomp. I did not expect it to tank that. Close Combat will do most of Garchomp's HPs, as it should die to the burn, but instead will die to the Shaman Air Slash, as the Hope Petulant will take game number 1 of this series. Hello and welcome back to this series. As we enter game 2, we have Hope Petron on the right side finally. And we are ready to begin. I think you'll notice no subs really coming in for either side. Pretty confidence in the teams that they have right now. Really hard matchup for the side of the Fluorescent Phalanx. Cresselia will lead and walking away. I think kind of showing a different side of his comp to start. Also kind of really going in. I thought the Psychic type was going to stay out into the Phalanx, which is, I believe, pure fighting. Correct me if I'm wrong. I am not wrong. You will see Mimikyu do big damage, but really lose a lot of HP that turn. Even with its disguise not being broken, Hisuian Lilligant will come out into the sun as Burn will start doing chip damage. The Sword Stance might be useful, but you'll see Suicune's Ice Beam do really good chip damage into Lilligant. Cresselia will be just fine, as you'll see Mimikyu watch as the Victory Dance comes in from Hisuian Lilligant and vanish, as it still takes burn damage. Solar Blade will go on to Suicune, OHKOing it, as we will see Phantom Force do half the damage of Cresselia. Lunar Blessing will give a nice little heal to both sides of Hope's team, as Burn will still do its chip damage to Mimikyu. We should see another Phantom Force come out here, yes, as Fire Blast will just miss. Lunar Blessing will start healing the Walking Lake, as they'll just let, well, the stall slowly chip at the Mimikyu, as it's not going to be able to kill this Cresselia. It's becoming very apparent. Hydro Steam will kill Charizard, as you'll see Lunar Blessing come out again from the Cresselia support, doing massive healing. We will see Woodhammer into the Cresselia, which will kill the Mimikyu, meaning Mimikyu's disguise has not been broken at all this series, and likely will not be broken, as it is looking to be a 6-0 sweep right now. Mega Garchomp Blast Alive, a Shaman Sky comes in to counter most of its ground ability. Draco Meteor will OHKO, as we do see now, officially, the first 2-0 sweep of our season. Not 2-0, 6-0 sweep. We already saw a 2-0. So, this is the results for the week. We have the St. Louis Superior going up 2-1 versus the Ding Dong Darmanitan. Meanwhile, the Hope Petron will 2-0 the Fluorescent Phalanx. The left side dominance there on the board. I do really appreciate you all bearing through the technical difficulties with us, as we do experiment for the first time with the OBS, well, full broadcast kind of thing. We had some microphone issues too. That should be fixed next time, and some audio issues. But we do truly appreciate you watching, and we look forward to seeing you at our next match on Monday, the 25th. Thank you again for watching.